Hello, my name is Nedu. This project was inspired by Kaftan by Nigerian brand Turfa. I made mine in different colors and here's how I did so. You would need the following measurements. Your hip circumference. This is taken around the fullest part of your hips. The dress length, taken from the highest shoulder point down to your ankle. The bicep circumference, taken around the fullest part of your upper arm. The length to waist, taken vertically from the highest shoulder point down to the waistline. Then add the following wearing ease to the bicep and hip circumference because the kaftan has a loose fit. So let's start off with the back piece. Add 15 inches to hip circumference to get east hip and then draw a line at the top of the paper equal to quarter east hip plus 5 inches. Then draw the back neckline curve with the following dimensions: a width of 2.5 inches and a depth of 1 inch. Connect both points with a curve. Then mark the shoulder slope point. It's 3 inches directly beneath the end of the top line. Then connect the shoulder slope point to the neck point. Next, draw the sleeve opening line directly underneath the shoulder slope point, half of your bicep circumference plus 4.5 inches. Then draw the underarm curve. From the bottom of the sleeve opening, mark a point 5 inches inwards and mark another point 5 inches beneath that point. And then connect the bottom of the sleeve opening to the second point with a curve. And the horizontal distance from the bottom of the armhole curve to the center should be equal to quarter of east hip. And then extend the pattern to the full dress length. Maintain the same horizontal width all the way. Add seam allowances before cutting the pattern. The following seam allowances were added all around the pattern. Now the front pattern is drafted the exact same way as the back pattern. The only difference is the neckline depth, which is 3.5 inches instead of 1 inch. Add seam allowances before cutting the pattern. Both the back and front patterns will be placed against folded fabric. Next is the jumbo V-Placket attached to the front neckline. Mark a point below the neckline by an amount equal to your length to waist minus 3.5. From that point, mark another point inwards by 2.25 inches, which is half of the placket base width. Then draw a line. Then mark another point 4 inches from the top of the shoulder line and connect both points with a straight line. Place a fresh piece of paper underneath and tape it down so that it doesn't move. Then extend the line at the base by another 2.25 inches. The total line gives the full placket base. From the neck point, mark a point outwards by 3 inches and connect that point to the placket base. Also connect the neck points to the top of that line. At the placket base, mark a point inwards by 1.5 inches and connect that point to the neck point with a straight line. The remaining width at the placket base is 3 inches, which is the same at the top. Now use a tracing wheel to imprint the placket pattern against the paper underneath. Then draw against the imprint, which transfers the placket pattern onto the paper clearly. Now for the stand-up collar, which extends the placket into the back neckline. Measure the length of the back neckline curve and extend the left section of the placket by that same amount. I'm using 2 different colors for both sections of the placket, so I'm going to separate the pattern. Stick each piece on a fresh piece of paper to have adequate space for sewing allowances all around. And then cut out the pattern inclusive of the following sewing allowances: Repeat this for the inner placket piece. And then cut out the pattern inclusive of the following sewing allowances. Now finalize the front pattern. Cut out the placket guidelines drawn previously. Leave the following seam allowances before cutting. Here the fabrics are used. Place the center of the back pattern against the folded edge of layered fabric. And then cut on fold. And here's the back piece of the kaftan dress. Next, place the center of the front pattern against the folded edge of layered fabric and cut on fold. And here's the front piece of the kaftan dress. The V-placket will be attached to that edge, and so it's important to press fusible interfacing to stabilize the edge and add density. For the inner placket piece, place the pattern against two separate pieces of fabric. I have layered it this way so that the piece has density. Cut another piece also against two layers of fabric. Place the outer placket piece against a folded piece of fabric. Fold slightly on the bias grain so that the stand-up collar sits nicely. Cut another piece also on folded fabric. And here are the neckline placket pieces for the kaftan dress. Attach the inner placket pieces to the dress front. You'll be joining the inner edges to the interfaced edge on the dress. And after sewing, here's what it looks like from the inside. Now make two small cuts at a slanted angle at both corners of the base, and make sure that you don't cut beyond the seam allowance. The cuts will loosen the base, making it easier to attach the placket. Next, join the dress front and back pieces, sewing along the shoulder and sleeves. Next, attach the outer placket piece, which also includes the stand-up collar. But before joining the outer placket, join both pieces at the center back neckline. And after sewing, fold it down again into one long piece. Then turn the dress with the right sides facing out. And then attach the outer placket starting from the left inner placket to the back neckline and then the right inner placket. Ensure that the center of the collar stand meets the center of the back neckline precisely. Then overlap both placket bases and join them to the dress base, sewing through 3 layers. And after sewing, you could also top stitch neatly along the base. And here's the completed dress. I really enjoyed doing this. The colors are so pretty together. I did a narrow rolled hem at the sleeves and a wide folded hem at the bottom edge. I love my new dress. Thank you for watching!